Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to ACTN and welcome to the Sanderson Heritage Park here in Faizabad. And I have with me the one who I call the community leader, Arthur Sanderson. Again, another project. We were here recently for the community project. Now we have another project here which is entitled to do with sports, bringing back sports into the community of Faizabad. As for the older folks will know, in years gone by, Faizabad and Point Forte was really the hub of activity when coming to football. And during the course of the years, things have died out, but Mr. Sanderson, as the community leader he is bringing back this football back into the community. First of all, again, welcome, Mr. Sanderson, and tell me a bit about what this event here this evening is all about on this Emancipation Day, and what can the people of Faizabad expect in the future?
Well, once again, Mr. George, thank you very much for being here. As a community communication station centered around issues and development of the community, the various communities. This annual project on Emancipation Day is really about emancipating our minds, ourselves, from the present lethargic that is going on in the society. Our youths are somewhat, they have lost the direction. And the focus that we are about over the last 3 years is to create a community activity centered around football, which was really the trust of the Southwest Peninsula. When we had companies, even though they were foreign conglomerates, they really nurtured the communities where they did their exploration. And I can tell you that these communities are Shell. With no Shell and UBOT, there was no Point Forte and Guapo and Vance River. Apex. If there was no Apex, there was never going to be no Faizabad. Lake Asphalt. If there was no Lake Asphalt, there was never going to be any Lovray or even Brighton. If there was no TPD, there was never going to be no Palaseco, Santa Flora, Dali Village. And if there was no Texaco, there was never going to be any Forest Reserve or even Pointe-à-Pierre. So the acronym SALTT is what is the root of returning football to that period when the greats were in this part of the country. So this concept that we have developed is centered around individuals who made contributions and young people who need a direction within the community to bring back football and to bring the community to support these individuals. Today when you go and look at football, sometimes these games are scanty. The only team that really creates a crowd or a population in any football game is Civic Center from Point Forte, because they are a community team. All the other teams, very rare do you see a crowd. So the emphasis of this, what we do on Emancipation Day, is to emancipate ourselves around sports, around football, around the things that can make you, the individual, become prosperous in this period of world economics. We have many plans, but some of them we try to keep close to our chest. But what we propose to do is never in the history of this part of the country will we allow one sponsor to sponsor a good project. And when that sponsor pulls out, the project crumbles, and so does the entire youth community crumble with it. So we have a lot of work to do, and we want to tell sponsors, sports is about marketing. And if this is good, they will be on it. If this is not good, then they will stay away from it. So today, these foreign companies, we call them British companies, when they were here, they gave back. They were the icons of giving back in the community, even though they did what they did. But we have to give thanks for what they did to us.
Yeah.
And this evening will be the epitome of returning to that era, when we will have Shell that made a contribution to Point Forte, a representative team of Shell going to play a representative team of Apex Faizabad today in bringing back that SALTT relationship that we had in the Southwest Peninsula. So that is what we are about.
The future game today will be that game that's going to bring back what this community had in years gone by.
In the years gone by. But remember, what we had in the years gone by was something pristine. But in order for that pristineness to reach where it reached, it started in the community.
Yeah.
It started in Captiville, it started in Delhi Road, it started in Palaseco, it started within the community. And when a team had to play, let us say Apex Faizabad had to play Texaco Forest Reserve, and you go on the acre to play Texaco, the whole of Forest Reserve coming to support Forest, and the whole of Faizabad going in to support Apex. When you had a situation where Apex Faizabad or Texaco Forest Reserve going to play Shell Point Forte, the whole of Faizabad and Forest Reserve go to Point Forte, and the whole of Point Forte came out to support Shell Point Forte. That is the marketing trust in the future development of any sports, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but in the world. Because if a sport does not have following from its community, it no longer a sport.
Yeah.
And that is what we are on. And thanks for ACTS for recognizing what we are about and participating in our growth and development so that we can reach somewhere tomorrow. We see this as a 5-year plan going down the road, that on the Sunday after Carnival in 2019, we will have a dynamic knockout competition between Shell Point Forte versus TPD Palaseco Santa Flora, Apex Faizabad versus Lake Asphalt Labre, and the winners in a round robin will also be participating with Texaco Forest Reserve. So we will have Texaco Forest Reserve, Lake Asphalt Labre, Shell Point Forte, Apex Faizabad, and TPD Santa Flora Palaseco, that will raise the spirit of football and sports within the Southwest Peninsula. And that will happen on the Sunday after Carnival at Goddard's Park in Forest Reserve, Faizabad.
Now, all what you're saying is good to the air to hear, but I know that in this life there are so many challenges. Sponsorship is one, finance is one. What are some of the challenges that you face right now? Because I know that you have this community and what you're doing at heart. I know that because I've been here on numerous occasions, I've spoken to you on numerous occasions, and I know that your heart is in developing not only Faizabad, but Trinidad and Tobago. But what are some of the challenges you face right now to get these events going?
The major challenge, as I see it, is very good communication between what communities do and the national community. You see, I'm one of those who does not subscribe with the question of having money in order for the project to go on. I subscribe to the bottom-up approach, because people put money into something when they have a return to get.
Definitely.
And once the bottom begins to move, meaning once the people on the ground begin to move with a concept that they see that they are a part of, the finance will come.
Yeah.
And the finance will come from far and wide. The finance will come as it relates to marketing, because any company or every company will want to associate with a product that is being met by the wider community who are the consumers. So we must begin to understand when we look at, if I may carry the conversation a little further, when we look at the T20 that is beginning to take place in the Caribbean, a national from India controls a Caribbean league, and a national from India have given a contract to the team in Trinidad to host its next 3-year finals. And the team in Trinidad, as it relates to the gravitation of cricket, is in the south, because the following and the market is in south. And they are beginning to build a hotel in south for a final that has not even started. And the capacity of the hotel has already been filled. That is sports. That is market. That is a following. And that is the concept which football has lacked. As a matter of fact, I do not want to go into the issue of criticizing or commenting on those of the past.
Yeah.
But we must learn from the past.
Definitely.
We must keep those of the past to guide us to the future. And that is why we have some of the greats who are from the past, but they are still in the future, to guide us along the straight and narrow, so that football will belong to the people and the victory will belong to the community with the team that they support. That is what we are about.
Now, I know you'll want to say thanks to a number of people who has helped you. I know the former President of Trinidad and Tobago, Anthony Carmona, they are playing for his trophy. But who are some of the people who have stood with you
over the time,
over the years, all the hardship, and who have continued to lend that support to you?
Well, I want to commend the 5th President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago when we started this project. He would have been here today, but he has to address a conference in Brazil in the morning. So hence the reason why he's not here today, and I ask that he be excused from this event today. But we also have a former Vice President of Petrotrin, Mr. Victor Mitchell, who is a very good man in his heart, and the community in itself, he has it in his heart with respect to seeing the life of sport emerge again in the area. We also have another gentleman by the name of Mr. Latif, Dennis Latif from Tiger Tanks, who is the regional manager for Tiger Tanks, an international company, and he's associating himself with this project. And we have individuals who may not have business, but their mind is so wealthy, like Mr. Bullet Pilgrim. He has been in this football thing for so long that he's guiding us. Devnish Paul, oh, I have seen him on so many games, but he is now coming into it from a professional level to carry this thing forward. Edgar Vidal, you cannot name any football association, fraternity, game that he has not associated himself with. But when we had a chat and I show him the steps and the concept, he said, Mr. Sanderson, that is something new, and I really want to be a part of it to see how it will progress. We also have Egbert Timothy Chase, ardent supporter, man on the ground, a man who understands. He may not be academically inclined or technically inclined, but whatever he says, he repeats what is on the ground, and you must go with that song that you hear from the ground. We also have Mr. Moraldo, Linton Moraldo, the brother of Raymond Moraldo, and if I may repeat, Mr. Pile, that diabolic footballer of FIFA, when he saw Raymond Moraldo, he said openly, that is a footballer of the future. And the 1973 team, when he saw it, he said that was a World Cup winner. But we all know the history of these greats of Moraldo, of Grell, of Morin, Vidal. We all know what took place, because the institution in Trinidad and Tobago was not strong enough to challenge it and make FIFA recognize who really was the winner. But those are the mistakes of the past. We are in the future. We are just a bridge. There are many steps across, but the young people must be firm in their belief, must be strong in what we are doing, and must see the light in the tunnel so that they can be gravitated to something that is progressive and not in this recalcitrant way that is happening in Trinidad and Tobago, where our youth, good, very good, precious commodity to our future, killing each other, doing things that are not supposed to be done. So I say this is what we are about. We start in Faizabad. And I want to say, Faizabad has always been the leader of things revolutionary, be it politics, be it sports, be it economics, be it otherwise. And that is what those are what I would like to comment and congratulate in our road towards the progress.
Mr. Sanderson, it was indeed a pleasure, and I will continue to support you because I understand and I see the vision that you have for this community and the wider Trinidad and Tobago. And although the weather is not what we will want it to be, but the only sport that rain stops is cricket.
That's right.
So again, thank you very much, and we will support you and look forward to chatting with you again in the future.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
And we welcome you here any and every time.
I know that. I know that for a fact.
Thank you very much.
Well, viewers, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk to a couple of the former national players who are here with us this afternoon. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after the short break. Welcome back to the Sanderson Heritage Park, and I have with me legend of Trinidad and Tobago football, the captain of the 1970 football team, Selwyn Moran. You would have seen him on our station some time back when I did a Legends in Sports interview with him. Mr. Moran, football in the Selwyn. Football in the Faizabad Point area was the mecca of football in the 60s, 70s, even before.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? And over the years, it has died. Only this week when I was down at Point for the Field of Dreams summer camp, someone mentioned to me, we had, I think it's Selby Brown, was saying that there were a time when there were 9 Point men making up a Trinidad and Tobago team.
That's a fact.
Right?
Yeah.
And now we have seen where football really in Trinidad is dying and slow death. Football-wise, administration-wise, everything. Now, Arthur Sanderson is trying his best to relive something that was beneficial to football in the past. Now, you are here this afternoon lending support. How does that make you feel, and is it bringing back memories to the good old days of your era?
In my opinion, what Sandy is doing is correcting. The system we had years ago, where the people were involved. But now, they took the game from the people.
Yeah.
Because somebody have a player, they have a team, and 9 players on the team from Sandy Grande, you know, and it can't work because the supporters don't know the players. So the system we had was working, and we really tried to see if we could have had a better system, but that system didn't work.
Because you have pro league teams like police and the army. What community do they represent?
Exactly.
Now, long time, police was in football.
Yeah.
But because of the dynamics of the country, and police didn't have that negative stigma about themselves, people would have followed them.
Yeah.
Right? So they had a following. But now, because of crime and because of the involvement in police and all these different things, people staying away, so they don't have a community base.
Okay.
Right? It's not like the army or the police going to a community and assisting refurbishing schools or doing things that people will know them. So how do we attach to a professional team or teams that doesn't have a community? How do we do it?
We have to go back to what was tried and tested, and it worked. So we have to go back to that system and continue.
Yeah.
You know, because what we really did is to take the game from the people, and the game needs the people.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where we went short.
Now, some people might say we criticize and all these different things. But do you think that the time has come where the likes of our legends, the Morans, the Steve David, the Cummins, all these guys supposed to be on board in trying to develop football? And why I say that, in '89, when we nearly qualified for the World Cup, we had a totally local bunch of guys, right?
Yeah.
When we went to 73, similar, we might have a couple players outside, right? But when we look at our local players now, right, I have not seen any player right now who can live up to some of the guys from 73 or even 89.
Okay. Well, I am not very close to the football now because I don't live here. I don't know if I could have made an input, but I don't live here, so I'm sorry. But like I did, like I say, what we did was we took the football for the people, and you must look at in England.
Yeah.
Counties when counties will leave their county and go to other counties to support a team.
Yeah.
Is that what we had here?
Yeah.
But it didn't work for us, so we should have gone back to what was working. And that's why we're still where we are.
Well, Selwyn, I'm glad that you are here lending support in some small way, because when you look at the situation in our country with the young people and everything, we need something to draw us back to civilization, because we are living like animals, like beasts, and and the young people are the ones who are suffering. So I want to compliment you and the other guys who are here today lending support, and I really do hope that this can build and recreate what we know, was the major event, football in the South area.
Yeah, I agree. We got to look for people like Finey Paul. He's one of the agents in Cuba who have Cuba going.
Yes, I was there with him sometime back with his son, right. And they have a little academy going.
We need
another
one like him or another 2 or 3, and then we got to go back to where we was, and it will work.
Okay.
It must work. It must work.
Tell us a bit about how you're feeling and what would you like to see come out of this project?
Well, first of all, I am very pleased and happy to be asked to join this organization, because I think that we needed something like that, especially in these days where the youth seem not to be able to organize on their own. One of the highlights of this, or one of the objectives of this, is that we want to perpetuate football at a level that has not been achieved since the days of Haiti, where I was very honored to be the coach of that team. And so far as I'm concerned, it is possible for us to return to the heights of those days, especially when we have stalwarts like those who are among us here today. And Kelvin Morin, who in my opinion, and I had the distinction of coaching team with other captains, but Kelvin Morin, in my opinion, has been the best captain of the Trinidad team ever. I know that people like said Joseph might have rivaled him, but Kelvin Morin, because of the heights that the Trinidad football team in those days reached, in my book, has been the best football coach that we have had. To see him here today, to me, is an honor that he can find the time to come here.
As a person who was there in 73, when we, and what I think happens is that 17 team, I don't think that up to this present time they was given the proper recognition, as the team that they, as far as I'm concerned, they were at the World Cup because they were robbed. But as you were there, what was that experience like? And up to this time in your life, do you still reflect on that?
Oh yeah, I don't think I will ever forget it. Although I will describe it as a notorious tournament, notorious from the point of view that some of the speakers before me have indicated, and that we have won a match handsomely and lost. The day in question, I have always supported myself when I was on these big occasions with the regulations of FIFA. And I had the regulations with me then. But there was, as has happened in this last World Cup, there has always been sort of a trial laws or trial rules. In those days, the trial was, or the experimental law was, that if the linesman or one of the linesmen, they used to call them linesmen then, had his flag up for more than 3 seconds, and the referee did not see him, the referee would afterward, if he was called on, the referee will ignore. If the referee did not see what happened in the 3 seconds, okay, so the first goal, let's go for that. The first goal was scored. Nobody up to now know why they disallowed it. It was from a throw of one of the persons who reached a standard in Trinidad and in the Caribbean, or perhaps even the world, had the best throw in the world. That was Winston Philip. They never saw such a throw in their life, and therefore it shocked the entire defense when Winston Philip threw the ball to the far post. The ball hit on the leg of one of their players and went in the goal, a legitimate goal. The referee the linesman put his flag up. The referee took the ball out of the goal himself, returned it to the center spot to restart the game. And it is only because of the crowd shouting, that the referee's attention was drawn to the linesman flag up still. When they went to the linesman, I don't know what they said, but they disallowed. That was the main one, that goal. Anyway, let me just say this, several years after, I'm saying the first time for those who are listening to me, I was in Germany on a course, a football course, and I was behind the Iron Curtain. So that the news coming from the West was very, 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 in fact, it's only after 12 o'clock in the night you could get. So anyhow, to make this story short, there was a program coming from BBC. I stayed up that night at 12 o'clock. Unfortunately for me, the program had to do with a match that a team scored 5 goals. I say 4, but 5.
It's 5, I know it's 5. Yeah.
5 goals and lost the game 2-1. And the people who were discussing are top class English coaches, and all of them knew about it, all. And one of the moderator said something that shocked me. He wondered why the technical committee of that Trinidad and Tobago team did not protest.
Yes.
Well, we looked to find ways of protesting and we couldn't find any. And that man said, we forgot that there was our experimental law at the time with respect to the linesman and the flag. And therefore, that was the ground in which we could have protested. But, well, that was history. So that was it. 81, and they went on to the World Cup, and they had a disgraceful showing. A very disgraceful showing. They lost 11-0 to hit Uruguay. Who was it? Somebody.
So you all got some sort of satisfaction?
Yeah, from that we got a little bit of satisfaction.
But now, as Mr. Sanderson is trying his best here to develop this year, you are one of the supporters who will be supporting this project.
I gave the background to this part of my life to prove that, so things like that perhaps nowadays, because of high technology and so on, could not happen. And because of the fact that people like myself, Selwyn Murren, Finey Paul, Kent Murren, and those others who are here, perhaps, they are here now to guide young people, even among them coaches and managers, that these are the things they look out for in the future. So one of the areas that I think that we will be able to help young coaches, even among them some sports commentators who unfortunately are unaware of some of the history of football.
Mr. Goodall, it was a pleasure. Let me continue to wish you long life and good health. And I know I will be talking to you again shortly.
Most certainly. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Welcome back, Sanderson Heritage Park here in Faizabad. And they say sometimes you leave the best for last. I have Lennox Pilgrim, better known as Bullet. And who don't know Bullet, really, you're in a different world. There is no football game that you can play in Trinidad and Tobago that you don't see this gentleman, right? He's the operations secretary of the SFA, Southern Football Association. He's the longest serving member, 40 years,
40 years.
with the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association. Well, it was there since it was the federation.
So the SF League.
Say right. So this man deserves to be here talking to us last. But I know that I've heard all the other people who I've spoken to pay tribute to you as the person who they have really been looking forward to help what is going on here to carry it to a different level. What is your whole role here, and being here this evening from since 40 years back and seeing this kind of camaraderie with the community football? How are you feeling right now?
Well, it brings back some old memories, which I'm happy about, because, as I said, I grew up in SFL, in first zone, right, where we had the leagues, and before we came to zones. So we had a number of youth programs, and most times you find teams in SFL were always in the finals. We always are forced to be reckoned with. So after some people resigned and the villages were going down, and we went to these zones. I work under John Allen. I first started working under Oscar Harvey, Ken Gold, all the old Ivan Carter, all these fellas.
You should have been the TTFA president.
John Allen, I work all these fellas. I have a lot of experience in administration, what have you. So seeing all these things that went away and everything that's going down the drain, and Arthur called me. I said, Arthur, I'm willing to support and give any advice and help. Because I never was an official who did things looking for money. I always wanted to help and give any experience I have, any questions, I will help. So that's the reason why I was invited to a meeting with Sans, and I came there and I gave my support and I told him I will be around to assist in any way I could.
So we can look forward to football under a new life coming out of the areas of Faizabad, Point, and these different areas.
Yeah, you see, yes, but what you have to take into consideration, the oil companies are not here again.
That is it. And the finance
is not
yes.
here. Because let me go back to SFL days. The reason why SFL was one of the stronger leagues, because according to the constitution of the country, the oil company had to provide facilities for players. You find almost every team had a club and a groundman, proper playing fields, right? So after these people left and things started to take a dive, right? And finance wasn't as there as previous years, so that's one of the problems we had. But now, as Mr. Sanderson is making this effort, I believe things could happen. If people see we are serious and we are doing things the right way, we'll get in this side. So that's why I'm here supporting him.
Right. Mr. Pilgrim, it was indeed a pleasure. And let me wish you all the best, and let me wish you another 40 years in the Football Federation, because we need people with the experience from when the football was actually the football then, if you understand what I'm saying. So we need that. They could bring 100 young minds, brilliant minds, but unless you don't have somebody there that can bring the foundation and what it was before, we'll always be in issues. So again, thank you very much. Thank you very much for serving Trinidad and Tobago football, because 40 years is not 40 days or 40 weeks. It's a long time. And to see you still in football, we really appreciate you. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So there you heard it from Lennox Pilgrim, better known as Bullet, and we are here enjoying ourselves today on Emancipation Day football at the Sanderson Heritage Park in Faizabad. We'll be right back. We might have the presentation. Who knows? It all depends on the weather. So this is ACTN, and we'll be bringing you all the action. Thank you for staying with us.